It would be exciting, and no life on Earth could ever hope to compare to it. But what would I be getting myself into? I needed more time, more information. The way things are, I can't. Azure! What's happening? I knew it, you fell asleep in class again! I didn't fall asleep, I just... No more excuses. Go to the vice principal's office right now! Not again. Knew I shouldn't have bothered coming to school today. I was like, this is the vice principal's office? He lives in your living room? Another boring day coming to an end. Quickly made my way home. Despite being in school for the day, I spent most of my time outside of class being reprimanded for my behavior. As a result, the day passed even more slowly than usual, giving me ample time, another word, to think about Sienna's proposal. Sienna, are you here? Shouted into my silent home as I entered the living room. However, I could see neither hide nor hair of Senna. My father, who was laying on the floor and floundering like a fish out of water, was the only person I can see. Sienna? Entered my bedroom, softly calling out as I entered. Ah, you've returned. How was the learning prison? Have you fulfilled your sentence for today? I considered correcting Sienna, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized there was nothing to correct. That is technically true. I guess so, though I spent very little time actually attending class. I was mostly trapped in detention. Ah, I see. So that is what it means to have a detention. Person from the learning prison called, asking for your father, and informed me you had a detention. I asked her to elaborate, but she just told me about you, not about this concept of captivity without captivity. Once again, I couldn't fault Santa's summation. It's not like I was trying to get in trouble, I was just deep in thought. You mean to say, it's my fault that you were punished? No, that's not what I'm saying. I don't blame you for that, but you're right. That is... I clicked too soon. That is what I was thinking about. I see. Even after thinking it over all day, it was difficult to reach a decision. A single day was not enough to reach a decision on something as irreversible and life-changing as marrying the queen of another planet. Nonetheless, it was as my deadline approached, I knew what I wanted to do. Sienna, How do you know you're pronouncing it right? You could be saying something else entirely. She could just be really confused. I want to do you. Got sound bites for everything. What are you saying? Where did you learn to speak like that? Huh? Did I say it wrong? I mean, that certainly is a stage of but still, to jump straight to that, did I say something wrong? I was trying to use the word you used yourself, but I must have said it incorrectly. What I'm trying to say is, Sienna, will you marry me? You mean it? You'll marry me after all? That's right. Sienna, even if we barely know each other, the truth is my life has been more interesting these past few days than it has been the rest of my life. My life up until then, technically. As a life with you is even half as enjoyable, then I want to spend the rest of my life with you. You really mean it? You're really not just saying this out of pity or a sense of duty as the ring bearer, are you? No way, I wouldn't sign my life away as something as silly as jewelry. Sienna, if you'll have me, then I want to be your king. Sienna continued to stare into my eyes with a look of pure joy on her face. Tears formed in the corner of her eyes, though never streaming down her cheeks. Whoa, calm down there. Oh geez, if Sienna starts crying, then I won't be able to hold back either. Driven by both curiosity and desire to keep sending Sienna from crying, I moved into the next step. So, Sienna, what do we do now? How do we perform the ritual thing you were talking about? Hey, what are you talking about, dear? You already said it yourself. In other words, we consummate our marriage. Consummate? I don't get it. Well then, let me show you. Sienna closed the distance between us, taking my body in her arms. She held me taut, tightly squeezing my face into her breasts. Sienna, what the heck are you doing? Shh, just leave it to me. I may not have any experience, but if my partner is my fated Azure, then I'll do my best. Sienna carefully removed the glasses from my face, placing them next to my bed. Alright, so I feel as though my enable 18 plus content is gonna kick in right here. So I'll read it all and I'll experience it, but then I'll go back and edit it and edit out whatever I actually can't show you on YouTube. So sucks to be you guys. You can look it up on Dailymotion. She then slowly lowered me onto my bed, cradling me in her arms all the way. Alright. Her face is... Azure's face is different now. Like, it looks lower quality than Sienna's in this one. Once my body weight was being supported by the bed, Sienna climbed on top of me. She slid between my thighs and up my body, pushing my shirt up as she ascended. Sienna? Sienna didn't respond to my call. She simply drew her face closer, looking into my eyes with a kind of gentleness I had only ever dreamed of. See. Before I could finish saying her name, Sienna pressed her lips against mine. Her voluptuous chest pressed against my stomach, pushing me down and preventing me from escaping. But as her soft lips merged with mine, escape was the last thing on my mind. What the fuck am I reading? My first kiss, taken without my consent, yet the sudden act sent pleasure surging throughout my body. Sienna's lips moved in sync with mine, almost as though we had done this before, and yet her clumsy movements left saliva around both of our mouths. She continued to stroke my lips with hers. Unrelenting as familiar sensations shivered down my spine. Okay, I wouldn't have used those choice of words. Stroke her lips with mine? You mean kiss you? I could feel my body gradually begin to relax as her gentle touch soothed me and finally started to accept what was happening. I gasped for air, so it is an out-of-breath thing. I gasped for air as Sienna pulled back. A strand of saliva still joined our mouths, but neither of us paid any attention. Sienna once again resumed her position on top of me, staring longingly into my eyes. Are you ready, my love? Sienna spoke without hesitation, but the blush on her face told me that she was too embarrassed. Ready? Oh, I was gonna say, like, how the fuck did it suddenly get dark out? No? Alright. Sienna moved from my side only for a moment, turning off the lights. For returning to her original position. I could still see her clearly, and yet somehow the darkness caused my skin to grow even more sensitive. As Sienna traced my skin with her fingers, I could feel a tingling sensation all throughout my body. I subconsciously reached under my skirt, with my right hand reacting to the stimulus without thinking. Before I could even try to gratify myself, Sienna beat me to the punch. She stopped my hand with her left arm, meanwhile placing her right hand on my chest. Sienna. Sienna slowly rubbed my chest as she brought her lips to my cheek. Okay, your chest is so flat I could cut zucchini on it. I don't think you could get that much pleasure. She kissed me repeatedly, albeit faintly, from my earlobe down to my collarbone. Sexy times incoming! Sienna's lips trickled the nape of my neck as her hand slipped under my shirt. Sienna skillfully undid the hook on the back of my bra, then carefully removed the fabric from my body. Sienna, stop it. My weak protest went unheard as Sienna dropped my bra on the floor. Unimpeded by my bra, her right hand continued to gently massage my chest, soon causing my nipples to stand on end. As soon as I focused on her right hand, however, Sienna's left hand began to pull up my shirt, exposing my bare flesh beneath it. No, don't. This is embarrassing. Hush, my king. You have nothing to be embarrassed about. Well, being called her king during sexy times, I would be a little embarrassed about that. But, one swift movement, completely unlike her gentle foreplay until this moment, Sienna slid my shirt over my arms and head, then tossed it aside. I immediately tried to cover my bare chest, and Sienna used the opportunity to ruin my skirt and panties in the same manner. Panicked and desperate, I tried to curl her up down there as well, but she watched me with my feeble attempt. Sienna took my arms in hers, pinning me down. Don't hide yourself from me, my love. I want to see every inch of your body, but it's embarrassing. Sienna sighed, smiling as she did so. Well then, would you feel better if I was embarrassed too? Oh god, here it comes. I nodded my head as I looked away in response. Sienna let go of me. She activated a control on her arm guard, and in mere moments her clothing vanished. That is some fancy clothing. I want clothing like that. Don't even have to get undressed. Is this better? Sienna asked meekly, wearing a light blush on her face as she brought her lips an inch away from mine. That would just make me feel even more embarrassed, because now I'm looking at a naked person. I tried to retort, to crawl away further, but the moment I did so, my voice got caught in my throat. Softly pressed against my lips were Sienna's, which quivered slightly as she moved. However, the kiss lasted only a moment, so she wanted nothing more than to silence my protest. Rather than resuming kissing, Sienna seemed more interesting in wandering with her eyes. So this is what my darling Azure looks like. While I covered my face in embarrassment, Azure made her... I made my way down to myself. Sienna made her way down my body. You're very cute, Azure. It makes me want to eat you up. No longer content with simply... What the fuck am I reading? Pang my flat chest, no mine. Sienna just made it worse. Oh god. I don't know if I can actually keep reading this. And no, stop. Nothing will... Sienna lifted her head almost as though my words had convinced her to stop. I know that. Saying that, Sienna moved up my body. Though I was hesitant, I knew what Sienna wanted, and the pressure to reciprocate her actions proved too much for me to bear. That's impressive. I would have liked to see the action replay on that. I almost did it again. I almost made it worse. She pushed her torso down. Hey, I always was curious about how this would feel. Compared to that. I'm only gonna read the words. I've had it. With the amount of sexy times going on screen at the moment. What do we have here? Another word? Focus on the words! Not that I'm one to talk. Sienna took my hand in hers. There's no need to be impatient. Only my own sense of touch. Her contrary to my thoughts a moment ago, was every bit as ready as Sienna. I've convinced my ability to please a woman. So do you think you can do that? I'm already laughing, so I don't even have to try. Calm down, my dear. This isn't a competition. No! This is a competition! It's always a competition. Brace yourself, my love. Sienna. After a long night of passionate lovemaking, Sienna and I woke up in another's arms. Though we both cleaned up and dressed before bed, there were still obvious stains on the bed sheets, and just looking at Sienna was enough to make me blush. Even so, after making up my mind yesterday, I knew what I needed to do. Are you really sure about this? Well, we just did engage in coitus, so I don't think I can say no now. If you don't want to, nobody will force you. Will you stop saying that? I've already made up my mind. You can't reverse coitus. Aha! Okay. Well then, is there anything you need to do or bring? Interplanetary travel is neither easy nor instantaneous. We won't be able to return for a while if you forget something. Hey, who do you think you're talking to? I have everything I need right here. Patted the suitcase I packed less than 1 hour ago. So I were mostly clothed, but I also packed, I don't know why I stopped. But I also packed a picture of my family, some snacks for the trip, and a couple of books. Really? Then I suppose you'll at least want to say goodbye to your father first. My father? Why would I want to do that? I love Papa, but there's no way I could even begin to explain all of this. So let's just leave him alone. I see. So be it then. Put your father in his original body and we'll be on our way. Sienna touched her arm guard, so typing on a computer. She input the necessary commands, and a moment later, sounds began to emanate from downstairs. My eyes! Dear God, what happened to my eyes? Whoops. Holy fuck! It's a computer-generated voice, so I'll skip. That's what happened when you go a few days without blinking. Your father's being in a lot of pain. Don't worry about Papa, he's tough. Right. Well, just remember all this when you become a father.
I guess that's what happened. I guess that's self-voicing disabled.
But I know that's not possible. Even if a girl can be king, it's still impossible for me to impregnate someone. Oh, I see. So two partners must be of the opposite sex for procreation between humans to work. That explains a lot. But we aren't humans, are we? Both of us, at least. So worry not, my king. I shall bear your child yet. What? You will? Absolutely. In fact, after the wild night we shared last night, I have little doubt that your seed has already been planted. I'm not sure you know how intercourse works. That's not how it works. What are you talking about? How is that possible? Simple. During our bonding, we exchanged ample body fluids. Using the excessive amount of DNA extracted from you, my body will begin to create and nurture life. This is how humans procreate too, correct? I can't even give an answer to that. My thoughts exactly. Well, she's not wrong, but my thoughts exactly. I don't know if I'm really cut out to be a father. There's no use in complaining about it now. Ha ha, indeed. Well then, let us be off. We have a planet to rule, my liege, and a lot of work ahead of us. I got the achievement, New Queen. The end. What the fuck did I just play? So that was less of a visual, that was still a visual novel, but it was less of a choose your own adventure and more of like a comic. Which there are some that are more comic-like, and there are some choose your own adventure-like, and there are some animated and some voiced and some stuff like that. Since the day Sienna and I left Earth, many months have gone by. I've been living on Mars, slowly being groomed into the role of king, preparing to rule by Sienna's side. Daily lives have been busy, filled with duties I never thought royalty would need to concern themselves with, but even then, it's been anything but boring. Look, my king, the resurrection of yet another monolith is nigh complete. Just knocked the headphone out of my ear. The picture's a little tilted there. At this rate, our civilization will be rebuilt sooner than I dared dream. No sooner had we announced our marriage than the construction of Mars began. Every day the people of Mars had been working hard, rebuilding cities long forgotten. Amazing. To think that we've already made it this far. Never knew being a king could feel so rewarding. Haha, this is only the start, my love. Just you wait, by this time next year, we'll be taking part in yet another rewarding venture. Sienna patted her stomach patted below her stomach as she spoke. But that's a flat belly. She's talking about children again? I'm thankful that Sienna put off that particular aspect of marriage while we were rebuilding Mars, but is it really that important that we have children so soon? At any rate, can't wait to see Mars once the resurrection is complete. It'll be wonderful to see the civilization you knew from childhood. Indeed, not as wonderful as... panning Gundam shot? Why are we panning on a Gundam? What is... Am I in the wrong anime? As Sienna and I spoke of peace and revitalization, we were greeted by a painful reminder of how far we had to go. What appeared before our eyes was a semi-autonomous fighting unit designed for interplanetary war, hence a Gundam. Fortunately, the unit that appeared before us belonged to the kingdom, not our adversaries, so we were not at risk. Nevertheless, it's almost time, huh? This really won't end without a fight. The unit that appeared before us surfaced in response to a growing need and the danger we would soon face. As a tool of war, its presence signified the start of true conflict, our strongest asset in any fight from here on out brought to the surface. The mightiest war machine at our disposal, a personal fighting unit of the late King of Mercury. That's the machine I'll have to use, right? Lucy and I kept relatively silent on the subject. I had already figured out that much on my own. As the new King of Mars, and by extension, Sienna's lineage, the new King of Mercury, that machine was rightfully mine. Furthermore, it is said that only a true ruler can pilot such a massive unit, hence Gundam, leaving only Sienna and I capable of taking up the reins. But with absolutely no experience fighting, let alone using such a machine, the whole concept scares me. If it comes to that, yes, war is already imminent, and you will be more of a target than any other. If the dissenters breach our defenses, you may have no choice. Sienna sounded remorseful as that foreboding message left her mouth. True to her words, while many were thrilled to hear of our union, others saw this as a betrayal of the people and an excuse to escalate, whatever, the ongoing conflict. It's scary to think that we're already facing the possibilities of death. Back on Earth, I would have jumped at the opportunity to pilot something like that, but now? Agreed, this is not how I want to spend our early days together, ruling side by side. However, as tough as it may be, we cannot allow ourselves to show weakness, neither in front of our enemies nor our allies. We bear the will of the people on our shoulders, and we must put up a brave front. We must continue to work hard for the sake of the people, of our people. And if war truly is the only way to settle this, so be it. We'll be ready. We'll be ready. Achievement unlocked. That was written in the sky. Whatever portions you see of it are the ones that are going to make it to the final edit, because holy hell, sexy times were indeed had. I have no words for this visual novel. The writing, 8 out of 10 I've got to give you, because there literally were no other problems with the actual writing and the words they used other than spelling mistakes. Big drawback since there was nothing else. Artwork, like a 4. Like, of the people, it was pretty good. It was stylized, but it was good. So like, artwork of the people, 8 out of 10. Artwork of everything else, maybe like a 5 out of 10. Plot overall, almost as flat as Azure's chest. I was hopeful for the plot in the beginning, and then it just went downhill because this is just a sex VN. But this has been me as myself at home, signing out. Peace out.